Let's rattle off some more statistics, and we're going to dive a little bit deeper into this. Obviously, the 80s and 90s were a different animal. The last time DC was considered, quote, the murder capital of the country was in 1991. DC was known as the nation's murder capital, experiencing 482 homicides in 1981. Obviously, the elevated crime levels were due to the introduction of crack cocaine and things like that. Hopefully we don't go back in that direction, dog. 270 up from 167 in 2019 to 274, whatever I said earlier. That's a crazy jump just within 5 years. So we're headed backwards, man. Talk to me, gentlemen. We'll start with Trey. How can we turn this thing around?
Well, I would say the first main thing is we got to stop, as a whole, as a culture, we just got to stop, putting the wrong emphasis on the wrong things, man. Like, a lot of this really has to deal with, in regards to internal power struggles, to relationships, and just materialistic possessions that we want so much. We put a lot of emphasis on the wrong things instead of feeding your soul, spiritual salvation. So once you have that demon that you wrestle with, bro, you wrestle with principalities on a daily instead of, understanding that it's easier to take a chance to breathe and actually, appreciate what life really is, not for what we have been molded to think what it is,
What say you, Phantom?
I say reach one, teach one, but the individual has to be teachable. Because see, the other day, me and another Crip was on the phone talking about this too, and the problem is, one of the problems is that a lot of these dudes don't really have any guidance. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of shit that's being tolerated nowadays was not tolerated back in the day. So you have a lot of sucker shit going on nowadays that's contributing to the shit that you're seeing. There's a lot of shit back in the day was, that shit wouldn't fly. But, we live in a whole different day and age now. It's just a lot of weird shit going on. You know what I'm saying? And, it just comes with it. So I say, in order for things to change, people have to be reachable and actually have an open mind and open ears and actually feel what is being said and see what's actually being, seeing the damage that they're doing.
What about you, Big Slim? How can we turn this thing around?
Yeah, man. How I look at it is a lot of what Phantom was saying. Accountability, is key. Communication, and a lot of it got to do with spirituality. It's so many different religious beliefs in this world. People got so many different ideologies. So a lot of times people ideologies don't go along with each other. With each other. So a lot of times it's you have people who create different groups. They might have common ground in certain areas in life and things like that. So it's to me, what I would say is the best thing to do is, to help things get better is just be true to yourself. You know what I'm saying? Whatever you believe in, stand on that, and everything else is go. Take care of yourself. Feel me? But at the end of the day, why I say that is because at this point, it's too much information out here for people to just act like they don't see what they're doing. Everything you do has a consequence. You know what I'm saying? So everything that people do out here, they'll be held accountable for it. You know what I'm saying? And how things, like you said, things was worse at one time. During the crack epidemic or whatever. And then they crack down on it. So all they're gonna do is just crack down on it and make it. You know what I'm saying? That's all they really gonna. The only thing the police know how to do is crack down on whatever they feel is the problem. And if niggas if niggas out here doing whatever they doing, acting a fool, or whoever that's not niggas, or whoever, if they causing a problem towards, you know what I'm saying, towards the government, they just gonna make it harder for us all. That's all they ever do. They make laws more and more strict to make, you know, it easier to control. You know what I'm saying?
That's facts.
The people, so that they can do what they, you know, what their agenda is. Because at the end of the day, you're not gonna stop their agenda. So we just got to sit back and just, you know, just do our best as people, and, you know, like the homie said, each one teach one, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's like the laws are either too lenient or too extreme. You know, right now, all these kids think they're getting away with these smash and grabs and doing all this crazy stuff, and they're getting slapped on the wrist. But this was all happening just before they came in 1994 with the 94, you know, 3 strikes laws and things like that. You know, they're going to let you get away with some shit, but when it's too much for them to handle, they're going to bring in the crazy laws and the big guns, and they're just going to start locking people all up again, man. Anybody want to comment on that?
It's going to be like the battering ram days.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, I remember clearly, and I was a civilian. I didn't even know what was going on, but I knew that, damn, what's this big tank I'm hearing about that's busting up people's houses? You know, it was a different time, and I just hope we don't get back to it. But, you know, you guys someone brought up the police, and it was almost like you were reading my mind. I think it was Slim. But what do you guys think about this aspect of it? Police are solving fewer cases as homicides rise in Washington, D.C. Only 75 of the 274 homicides committed last year have been solved by police. In the past 3 years, the overall closure rate stands at around 45%. That would be the lowest rate dating back to at least 2007, according to Metro PD. Now, nationally, the average clearance rate for crimes tends to hover between 50 and 60% of them being solved. Now, this is what I want your opinion on, fellas. You know, we have all this technology. We have cameras everywhere, satellites recording your every mood, fucking Alexas and Siri's recording us. And why do you think it is in 2024, with all that, cops are solving less and less homicides?